Hello, this is James Bear, and I want to show off a new feature of WebLogic Server 10.3.3 or 11G R1 patch set 2. This is a new part of the diagnostics framework called Request Performance. This is an HTML console view of your requests as they flow through the system, and it can break them down by subsystem. So here what you're seeing is several requests that I just executed. In this case, it's a request to the MedRec sample application. And you can see I'm getting timings for the entire method. This is 37 milliseconds. As I hit a servlet, and in this case it's a JSF application, so I hit a faces servlet, and it gives me some interesting information around that. If I had been actually logged in with WebLogic Server Security, the user would show up there as it flowed through the system. And all of these events have the same context ID. So as I move through servlets, EJBs, JMS, and other subsystems that I might have configured, the same context ID flows through the system, so I can tie them all together and visually represent them here. In this case, it's just a servlet and an EJB call, and in fact, this EJB is making a call to another EJB. So the get records by patient ID calls the find records by patient ID EJB, and as you can see, I get timings for the entire thing, right? So 37 milliseconds for the entire request, and I can break them down by each individual component and see which one is taking the most time. So if I were to add in other things like JDBC around, I would get even more granular information, including the SQL that was called. So let's look a little bit into how this view is generated. So as part of the diagnostics framework, it's kind of a powerful feature of WebLogic, but the key thing, if you just want to get started, is knowing that you need this thing called a diagnostic system module, and the MedRec domain is already pre-configured with one. And basically this targets things at an individual server or set of servers, and it illustrates whether metrics are being collected, watches and notifications, so you could be notified if something passed a certain threshold value, for example. And in this case, its instrumentation is turned on. And what you'll see is for every single application that is configured with a special deployment descriptor, in this case the WebLogic-diagnostics.xml inside of the ear file, is meta-inf directory. If we go take a look at that, we'll see that we have a couple of instruments configured. These are defined in a library that WebLogic Server provides, so you don't have to make these up. And gives us timings around a servlet invocation, so we're going to trace some timings around there. And here shows we also want to instrument EJB methods, and we're going to get the timings for that as well. And as long as this system module is targeted at my server, this deployment descriptor says go ahead and instrument my application. I can easily turn this off just by unenabling the diagnostic module on my server. And so it's very easy to turn diagnostics on and off. And then once I go ahead and flow through MedRec here, let's go ahead and click a few more times, you'll see that if I go back to the request performance page, that I have brand new requests that have just come in. And so it's in live real time as these things come in. I get to see them broken down by request and through each subsystem they went through. So hopefully this gives you a brief overview of the request performance tab in the console and how it can easily help you answer the question, where am I spending my time? And if you have any comments or questions, drop me a comment and I'll get back to you. Thanks a lot. Bye.